So here we come, the most important topic, variable. Variable are the container for storing data or something, anything in Python. That data could be a string, number, float, list, anything. So variable are the container or the boxes in which we store something. Remember, we have used variable in our initial code, like this first number
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
variable, this
yeah.
and this addition, this a, these are all variable because they were storing some data in
Yeah.
Python. So to declare, we have some kind of styling guide for variables. First thing is we could just use a lowercase letter or uppercase letter or entire lowercase letter. But we if like there are some points where we have like couple of words to describe a variable. In our case, we were having, remember the first number. So what I did is I used a kind of, the first number, and after that I capitalized the n of the number
Mm.
to, make it more readable. So we have some kind of styling guide. We could use entirely lowercase,
Lowercase.
variable name, or we could just add some kind of underscores or entire uppercase or uppercase with a kind of, underscore. Or this is a kind of, most kind of favorite case for every programmer. It's called camel
I see.
case, that after
I see.
every word we capitalize the, new word or something.
Yeah,
Mixed case, yeah, that's what I used, starting from,
yeah.
lowercase, and after that capitalized for every new letter. And this is the ugliest thing, they say that it's capitalized and then underscored. It's like putting everything, So these are basically, a and then b, and this lowercase with the underscore, uppercase with the underscore,
I see.
uh, camel case, mixed case, and this is the ugliest one. Okay, built-in data type. So yeah, we learned about
So,
variable. Yeah.
I may interrupt quickly. We learned all these things,
Uh.
but the way you are teaching it and the material you're using is mentioning some new things that they
Uh huh.
didn't tell us. So this
Uh
is
huh.
good. Yeah,
Yeah. Why?
yeah.
Why I sound a kind of experienced, because I learned Python on my own. It was like a
Mm,
self-taught Python kind of thing. So I know from where to pick up things. That's why I have this book right here. That's what I have gone through, this crash course. And after that, I have also taken help from this website and
mm.
Stacks Overflow. That's the best friend of programmers. I guess you know about that.
Stack Overflow. Yeah, I think we went there to do a few things, but not a lot. Yeah.
Print statement in Python. You just enter that and human verification. Yeah, please. That's gonna be your best friend if you would, do programming,
I see.
because you're gonna see that later how it can be our best
Okay.
friend.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So styling guide, how to declare variables. Then let's come to built-in data types in Python. These are built-in,
Mm.
we could use it. Variable can store data of different type, and different type can do different thing. Yeah, pretty fair. Python has the following data types. Okay, text type. If we want to store text, we use string type. If
Yeah.
we want to store any numeric thing, we could use integer. So what integer is? Integer is
Yeah,
basically
I know
anything
that. Yeah.
without a decimal.
Without a dot. Yeah.
Float, anything with decimal. It could be
Yeah.
positive, negative, anything. And complex, I guess complex is used in kind of mathematics. 1 plus j, or 1 j, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, it uses a kind of j notation. Complex, yeah, see, it's like 5j or something. This represents, a unknown x variable or n in mathematics or something. So
Okay.
that's why
Okay.
it's here. We're finding
Okay.
j in some algorithms, or that's what it
Okay.
means. So numerical type.
Okay.
Sequence, type. So what do they really mean by sequence? Sequence means that, like, in a coming in a row, or what could we say? I guess you know about list and tuple and range, but do you know
I
about
know
list?
list. Yeah, sure. I know they taught us top, but I can't remember exactly right now what it is.
Hmm?
And I have an idea what a range is too.
Mm-hmm. So
But I'm
basically what
definitely sure what a list is.
So basically what they mean by sequence data, let's suppose there are 10 students in a class and we want to store their names. So what we could do is we could just say A1 is equals to Ali and A2 is equals to John and up till A10, and that's really frustrating. So they created a data type which could store some kind of sequence or many things in one container or one box, and one of that is list. So how to create a list? We could just say student name, a variable to store our list, and then assignment operator. This is called assignment operator because it's
Yeah.
assigning something to something, a list to a variable in our case. So this is the syntax to declare a list. So this is basically an empty list. If I do print and then stud, come on guys. So yeah, basically an empty list. I have
Yeah.
successfully created an empty list, and if I do type stud student name, it's gonna tell us that it's from class
So
string.
cool.
Hmm?
I see.
Oh yeah, basically a new thing. If we have multiple things, we could pass that into a print statement by just adding a comma. Let's suppose print hi and then comma and then hello. So yeah, a cool thing about print statement, just add a comma and enter another thing if you want to display that onto the console. So now let's add something. This time we are just adding, yeah, we are like early and then a comma and then new name John and then a new name XYZ and then a new name ABC. This time I run this, do you see like it's a list and it has like
Yeah.
4 names,
Yeah.
so that's really handy. Instead of doing this thing for every new student, we create a new variable and then store their name in that. We use a kind of list to store multiple things. So this is a kind of sequence we stored in a variable, and this is the kind of list. And there is one more way we could create list. Let's suppose we have something round braces does not means anything, but we could store anything in these things. Let's suppose we could store number or even a string, but right here we are like early and ABC and XYZ. So that's our sequence. And what we could do is we could use a keyword called list on this thing. I guess we again need to use a round bracket right here to just specify this thing. So let me make it a more clear. This is the keyword if you want to convert some sequential data into a list. So we use this keyword. This is a basically function to convert something into a list. We enter this, and if I run res, yeah, see it has converted this into a list. We could do two things. If we already have some sequential data, we could just use this function to convert that into a list. Let's take an example. So this was the function, and to just make a container, we use this bracket to store multiple things. Let's suppose I could write a and then a b and then maybe this variable. So these are three variables. To make them to group them to group them out, or I don't know, to group them, we just use this these round brackets, and I'm just gonna do a cut and just pass them into this list function. And what list will do, it's gonna b is not defined. We need to run this cell, and yeah, see here we got an error. And if I have an error and I don't know what it's really about, I could just copy it, go to Google, and just paste here, and whenever I would enter, I would see Stacks Overflow right on top of this, and I could just click there,
Yeah.
and they would describe what that really is. And whenever you see a
Mm,
tick, it means that someone had a problem and someone suggested the answer and that answer got accepted. So always search for this green tick. So what he's saying, he's gonna tell you something about something. I don't know. He's just explaining you what the problem could be, So Stacks
See.
Overflow, the best friend.
Mm.
So yeah, we could run this. So see what it did. We used a list, a keyword, basically a function, a list function that converts anything, any sequential thing into a list. Or if you are creating something new, we could just use this syntax, square brackets, to create a list. I guess it's clear, right?
Yeah, it is. But I
Uh-huh.
don't know how quickly you went overflow. How did that help us in correct problem? Because I didn't see that you copied anything from there.
Sorry, what?
You went to Stack Overflow,
Uh-huh, yeah.
but you didn't copy any code from there. So how did the syntax error?
Yeah. Oh, let me do something.
Before it was giving us
Yeah,
error,
yeah,
but
yeah,
now
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's
Yeah, yeah. Let me do. If I enter C, so in my entire code, I don't have a variable name as C. So I just passed
yeah.
a C here, and whenever I would run, it would give me an error. I
Okay.
copied this error and I went
Okay.
to browser and I
Stack
pasted the
Overflow.
error and I did enter, but I knew what Python really means. Python is saying I'm not understanding what C is, but in my case I was having this B or A, but I didn't run this cell. This cell was never
Okay,
run.
okay, okay.
So I just run that
I
and that.
understand now. And then it ran. Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
get it now.
Yeah, yeah, that's how it works. So
Yeah.
yeah, list is clear. Next is tuple. So the basic
Yeah.
difference between list and tuple, they are pretty much similar. For list, we use these square brackets. This is list, this is list, and for tuple, we use round brackets. You would be a kind of little bit confused that I used this kind of thing right here when I was, grouping up some variable. Yeah, this is also gonna be a tuple. If I do something, it's technically gonna be tuple, but as a beginner, we would just say that we are grouping up some things, but technically this is a tuple. And I have created a tuple and I passed that tuple into a list function, and then the list function converted this tuple into this list. So initially you could just say it's a group, but if you move to advanced concept, this is how we create list and this is how we create a tuple. So let's create a tuple. 4 comma 5 comma 6, you could store everything in this thing, even a string. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can store multiple data types and even a float number 5.5, something like this. Okay, so the major difference is list is kind of mutable. That means that we can change the values. Let's suppose John is there and John left the school. We could delete John and add a new student right here. But in case
Okay.
of this tuple, we can't change anything which is, on a specific index, maybe on index 0 or 1 or anything. So whenever
Mm.
the tuple is created, it's kind of created. We can't, really change whatever is stored in this thing. Let me give you an example. How can we change that? Let's do student name, and I'm like, yeah, I wanna see what student or what's the name of student on index number 1. One more important thing, in Python, index always start from 0. So index of this name, this value variable is
Yeah,
0,
zero. Yeah,
for this
I
is
get it.
1. So to access
One. Yeah.
that, or to get that, we use square brackets and then enter the index. I enter 0 and it's gonna give me Ali, so because Ali is on index 0. And I'm
Yeah.
like, on go in the variable student name, and I already know what this really is. It's saying, student name, and it's a list, and that that stores strings inside that. So that's what this VS Code is telling us. The VS Code is quite smart, and we are like, okay, on in student variable, in student list, go on index 0 and update the value to double d double w. Okay, and whenever I run this, it's successful. And if I later on kind of print this thing, see, it kind of gets updated. Ali is
I
gone and
see.
now it's t. So that's what list is. We can change the value. It's kind of mutable, but the tuple is immutable. It means that we can't really change the values. Let's store this tuple tup one. We kind of store this tuple into this thing. We will run this. We will also we could, yeah. I say, okay, go to this and go to index 0. We can get the values from specific indexes. Like I said, go on index 0, it gave us like 4.
Why did you use a square bracket
To access
for a
the,
tuple?
yeah, it's just used if you wanna get a specific value on a specific index. I'm like, go in this variable and go to index 0 and give me the value. So it's giving me 4. What if I will enter 4? It's gonna give me something else. That's
My
55 on
question
index.
was why you have a tuple? Why are we using square instead of a normal bracket?
Like right here.
Yeah, the because it's supposed to be a normal bracket, not a square bracket.
Oh, you're saying it's a tuple and it should be in those round brackets.
Yeah, round, not square. That's what I thought.
Yeah, your thoughts are really really right. So the problem here is when we want to define a list, we use this bracket, and when we
Yeah,
want to define a tuple, we use this thing, right?
yeah,
Clear? Yeah. Let's suppose we already have a list which is named as student something, and we are like, okay, give me what really is in this thing. It will give me like this. And let's
yeah.
suppose I'm in the office and my senior says, okay, tell me who got the first position. So I'm gonna go in this list. I will say, okay, I'm gonna get the very first element of this list, very first value of
Mm,
this list. So the reason I'm using these square brackets is to access the values, and this rule is same for tuple or list or anything.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so yeah, when we kind of
I got it.
define the list, we use square. Define the tuple, we use this round brackets. But if we want to
Yeah,
access, get the
yeah,
values, we
access it.
use this, and
You have to
inside
use
that we
square.
use the index. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So
I
right
got
here
it.
I was getting this index and I was like, okay, try to update the value in index 4 to 66. And if I will do this, it will give me an error, and the error is type error. Double object does not support item assignment. So it's like it does not support this. You can't do that. You can't assign a
Mm,
new value on a particular thing. If I again run this tuple, it would be same. Nothing would have been changed. It's still 55. It's not 66. So that's a really difference. That's really useful when, let's suppose, we have an application and that stores password for some users or something. We would definitely
mm,
store those I don't know, not password, or maybe you have a kind of financial statement or a bank statement, and you're
mm,
getting the values and you are updating the tuple, and you don't wanna those values get changed. At that time, we could use
mm,
tuple or any scenario where we don't want the values get changed while we go down in the code. So that's where we use tuple. So
mm.
no one could really change the
No one
values or
could ever
something.
change it.
Hmm?
But are there exceptions where, okay, let's say you decide in the future you want to change it, you have to change the whole tuple?
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, this is the tuple. Uh, Tup 1 is equals to 55, 66, 77, 88. Let's suppose in future that's a really bad thing. Let me open a few cells so it doesn't, because this is a tuple, right? And later on I wanted that, oh, the, maybe the rules for percentage have changed, you know. The
Yeah.
person who gets 88 numbers, he's on grade A.
Or
Let's suppose the
86.
rules
Yeah.
got changed, okay.
Yeah.
So at that time what I could really do is I could create a new tuple and assign a new thing on that, you know, 55, 66, 77, and then do 90. That's what really I can do,
Okay.
you know.
Okay. I get
Override
it.
that.
I understand.
Override. Yeah, you know, override. We
All
can't
right.
really change that, so we are overwriting. We are, you know, saying that into this variable. This time we are not saying that go into this list and change this. We are like, go and use this variable and store a new thing in this variable. We are just
In this
saying things,
variable,
store a
I
new
got it.
thing. Yeah,
I got
we
it.
are not, you know,
I got it.
editing or
I got
something
it.
like that. So yeah, list is done, tuple is done, and next thing is range.
Range,
What
yes.
do you know about this?
No, I've heard about it, but it
Hmm.
didn't stick in our thoughts. So
It's a function, same like those. And
okay.
yeah. One more thing. I forgot something. That goes is really messy. Like in future, I would try to be a bit, you know, organized.
It's
Where
okay, Kara.
was where? Yeah, because you need this code, and later on you would be like, oh, from there where this is coming. This was our list, right? Yeah, this is our
Yeah.
list. And what if I wanna convert this list into a tuple? I could simply do is tup or what? Oh, this is a markdown. Sorry for that. Tuple. Yeah, in tuple I could just pass that list. I'm just basically passing this whole list into this function to convert this into a tuple. So that's, you know,
Mm,
type conversion. We could convert
mm.
tuples into list using, you know, where that is, come on, this thing list. And if we have some other
And
data types, you know,
and
okay.
we can, I guess we can reverse that by converting it back to a list if we have to, so that we
Yeah.
can then be able to edit it if we
Huh.
have to.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. Yeah. If we are like, yeah. That's really nice thing that
Okay.
you have kind of figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we have a tuple, we could convert that into a list. Let's try to
Mm.
convert the tuple into
Okay.
a list,
Yeah.
because we haven't did that really. Oh, we did this. Yeah. No,
And then you
we
can
want
edit it
um
and then convert it back just to protect it, I guess.
list. Let's try to do that. Yeah, we can do that. Like, see, I did that. it's uh, it's 90, and now
Mm.
I can
Back
store this
back to a
into
list. Yeah.
top one, and after that I could do that. Top one go on index -1. Yeah, that's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
When we enter
Yeah.
-1, it's like go on the last, you know, pick up the last
Yeah.
value. So
And
if you want to
then to
pick
change
90
it
and we
to
don't know the length, you
whatever.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a cool thing. 88, and then I could do is top one is equals to tuple, and then enter top one. Oh my god, that's really messy. So yeah, you're right. What's wrong with you? Built-in immutable sequence. What the? That's coming. Oh, I forgot this. Sorry. Top one. So yeah, quite successful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. That's a good thing. Yeah. Yeah, if we don't wanna, you know, copy paste, we don't wanna do copy paste, but we are good
Yeah.
with writing few lines of code, then yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
approach to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were going to talk about range. So
Mm.
as like, have you observed Python is really, you know, a high level language or human readable. If you want to convert something into a list, we use a function named
Yeah.
as list, and if you want to check the type, we use a function name as typed. Same goes for tuple and range. Like, it's it kind of expresses itself that it will produce a range of number or something, and this is the function, and the first argument. So a more, do you know what argument mean, like in this
Yeah.
Python?
What you
Okay.
put in the bracket.
Yeah. Anything we put in the bracket of a function, it's called
Yeah.
argument. So the
Yeah.
first argument is the lowest range. Let's suppose I enter 5. And the next argument is the highest range, or yeah, the highest range actually. Start or
An
stop. You could
idea.
see like right here, like, so the first argument is start and the second argument is stop. Stop on maybe 10. And if I enter, it will produce a range which starts from 5 and ends on 9. The thing is, it's not gonna produce 10, it's gonna end before 10.
Yeah.
That's what it
Yeah.
is. And you can't
Yeah.
really see what it really is, because it just printed out this kind of thing. But we could use this in a for loop. And if I print I, so here you could see it starts from 5 and ends on 9. So be careful with the last second argument. It's not gonna do that. It's just stop before this
Value.
last argument.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's also a sequential type of thing. It's kind of really helpful when you wanna generate numbers from different kind of range. And we could even add a third argument. Let's suppose let me do that. That's quite good. I'm generating numbers from 5 to 19 actually. If I would do 21, then I would generate 5 from 20. Yeah. And the third argument is steps. Let's suppose I do 2, so it's gonna generate numbers from 5 up
5,
till
7, 9, 11.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah. Exactly. And mapping type dictionary. Any idea about Python dictionary?
It uses that other type of bracket. I know that there are some dictionaries in Python already came with Python, some like keywords or something analysis, and you can create your own.
Yeah.
So as
Basically,
part of the dictionary. Yeah.
as by its name, it's telling that it's a dictionary. It will have a word and it will have some kind of meaning. So it's like a pair in a pair, key value pair. So that's right. You got it right. So again, for creating a dictionary, let's create a variable.
Yeah, I'm not quite aware of everything we can do with it, but I know that's what it means.
Yeah, you were right. Whatever, like the things you told were right.
Yeah.
So we use these curly brackets
Yeah, that's
to declare a list. And so let's create our first pair in dictionary. Let's suppose name, and this is the key of our first element in the dictionary, and this is the value of our first element in the dictionary. So this is a one element which is in form of key and value, key value pair. And let's add a second thing. Let's add age, and after that we can enter age, something like this. Okay, so that's how the dictionary look likes. And the thing is, it's quite useful if we have I don't know, we could do a couple of things. Let's do something kind of a bit kind of tricky. So basically, a key should be only one thing, either a number or a string or something. But the value, we could store any data type in Python. So what option do we have? We have an option of string that we already kind of used. Okay, and we have the option of storing float, complex, list, tuple, and range. Let's do something like here. We only had a string, and in name we could store name of everyone in our office. It could be Ali, and it could be anything. John and blah blah blah. So that's kind of a useful part of dictionary that, let's suppose later on we were like, oh, we had a dictionary in that thing. So we we had stored so but to access the dictionary like values, we need to use that same thing, you know, that
Square bracket.
square notation,
Yeah.
yeah. And inside that we need to enter the value name, and if I do name, it would simply return the value of those things. So
Okay.
against the key name we had a list of some names, and against the key age we have a integer. So that's how we can do a couple of
Yeah.
things with that. And this is kind of, you know, mutable. We can change, delete the keys, add new things, update the something. So that's how it works. Like there
Yeah.
are a
So
lot of methods related to list, tuple, and dictionary that we're gonna see later, you know. Let's suppose if I list, it's like
so
let me go to the list and see. Yeah, this is the list, and dot append, this is one of the method. If I want to add something at last of the list, I could use this last number. It's added, and let me review the list. If I do this, like, see, this was our original list. I used a method with a dot notation, like dot append, and then
the
entered the
appended last number.
yeah. So it got, you know, it got added to this thing. So there are
Can
a lot of
we can we append last number as third item or as the second item instead of it going automatically as the last item?
yeah, we can do that. We have other methods to do that.
Yeah.
We have insert, so we are like, where do you wanna insert that? Maybe on index
Anyway,
2,
yeah.
and then we are like we can enter new. So there are a lot of methods. I said like this is a kind of advanced concept. We later or on gonna see, you know, how to remove, add on different positions and blah blah. So
Mm.
insert index 2 0 1 2 on index 2, it will, you know, it will pick this up and slide this to the right and add this new thing right here. So news added here, this one is, you know, slide to the right.
Oh, I see. I see. I
That's
see.
there. We're gonna see them all. Right now we are just discussing the data
Yeah,
types. And
just curious. I was just
yeah, we can do a lot of things. Yeah, we could just check the, I don't know, find different things in the list, do different, sort them out, and yeah, a lot.
do a
There's a
lot of
lot there.
operations. Yeah.
Yeah, so these were the kind of basic things. And set. Let's discuss set. And the syntax of defining a set is quite similar to dictionary. Set can be defined or declared by using curly brackets, but what's the main difference? In this, we don't use a key value pair. We are just like 4 5 6 6 7 4, and then 5, and then 2. You would see something. Let's store this into a variable set 1, and we have created a set. That's another data type in Python, and you're gonna see the difference in the output. Like, see, it's like 2 4 5 6 7. Do you see anything strange in this thing?
2, 4, 5.
What we
The
created and what?
intervals.
Hmm?
Yeah. Well, let me just give me a second. The order.
Yeah, and one more thing.
And 2, 4, 5, 6. And then it skips the rest. It didn't repeat number 6, the 6.
Yeah, exactly. So no duplicates,
And even
and
it does it and it's reordered it. Yeah. It's not
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly, you're right. So no duplicates, and it kind of ordered. So this list is mostly
Yeah.
used, or this is called like set. Python set data type, and if I check the data type set one, it's gonna tell it's a type set, it's a set. So if you remember like the maths of high school or something, we used to have sets, set A, set B, and taking union of
Yeah.
set A and intersection of set A and B and blah blah. So that's what it really is. In sets we can't have duplicate values or
Duplicates.
something, and the good thing which I today noticed it, or maybe like I have forgotten, that it kind of sorts that out, arrange that in a kind of ascending order.
Let's say I I'm in this line of like I don't know the thing that you, Yemi, and Kara have been discussing. I'm only just seeing this line of code. How can I be able to tell that it's a set or a dictionary? Because they both have curly brackets.
Good point. Good
Yeah.
question. Like say in dictionary, the thing like how they start or how they are bounded or how they are surrounded, it is kind of same. It's curly brackets. Like here also curly
Yeah.
bracket. But you would have
Yeah.
noticed that single value, comma, single value, comma, single value, comma. But if you go to dictionary, it's like a key. Sorry for that. It's like a key and then a
Mm. Or
then a colon,
tell me.
and then again a value and something like this. Let's make it a bit easier. I have a key named as customer ID number 015. I can't start with 0. 154, and against that I have the customer name whose name is XYZ. So
Yeah.
a key and then a colon and then a value. That's
Okay.
how we
Okay.
can differentiate between
A
a
dictionary
dictionary.
and a set.
These are just values separated by commas. These are key value pairs separated by comma.
Got it.
I could make it more. I I can make it more clean. I guess I can. It should do that. Why it's taking. We usually do something like this if we have more than one values. It's quite. It's a bit more readable or something. Every new neuron, new key value per on new value. So those were, and yeah, the last one, Boolean data type, most important. Do you know about Boolean data
Brilliant.
type?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes or no.
Yeah,
True or
and
false.
again,
Yeah.
bool, it's the function to convert something into a Boolean data type. If you will enter 0, then it's gonna convert into 0. Except that we can enter anything, even a R, it's gonna say it's true. It's gonna say true for everything, no matter what it is. Like 55 true. If we're gonna enter 0, then it's gonna say false. So that's how we could just say, and yeah, to store boolean, let's say bool1, we could just say true. The important thing to know is t should be capital and bool 2 false, f should be capital for true and false. And if you want to convert something into boolean, I told you, if it's 0, then it's false. Except that it's true for everything we have in Python, even for a list. uh, what was that? I don't know.
Got it.
Yeah, username. See, true. We passed a list into this thing, it's again saying true. So only false if we have 0. And
Got it.
if you want to check the type, bool1 boolean. See,
It's
so yeah,
false.
binary. Oh, it's false because I have entered 0, but after comma you see the type. Okay, let me do that in the next line. Yeah, I just did that on one line. So checking the type of this bool1, the value stored in this variable bool1 was true, so it's saying it has the type bool.